The New York Metropolitans were walked a total of 9 times tonight, and they left 14 runners on base. Surely they scored at least 1 run. No, of course they didn't, as they dropped game 1 of a 4-game set against the Atlanta Braves at Citi Field by a final score of 7-0. You had the Atlanta Falcons scoring a full touchdown on either the Giants, the Jets, or the Bills, whoever you're a fan of for New York sports. But the Mets lose another absolutely horrendous game. For the 12th time this season, they are completely shut out. Of course, it was at home on a Friday night where they looked great in the black unis, but that was the only thing that they had going for them. We're going to keep this fairly brief tonight. I'm not going to go on too long. Not going to be too long-winded. Why? There's no highlights to show. There's nothing positive to discuss. A good vast majority of the viewership that will be getting the live show for people on replay will likely be Braves fans, because I know that they eat this up for breakfast. Not that having a 70-plus win season already is enough, but of course, anything regarding the Metropolitans, when it's not in the Mets' favor, they're going to be eating that stuff up for breakfast. So I'm going to be fairly brief with this. Do not get me wrong, but I did want to stay committed and do a show tonight regardless on the result, because I will not be doing a live show tomorrow for the doubleheader. I'll have a recap video out, however, Sunday night. I'm not sure if we'll have a live show out. It will be a recap or a live show that is yet to be determined. I'm currently set up on a ping pong table because I'm out of town right now, as you guys have seen many times. Shout out everyone first chiming in for the latest post-game show here in WardyNYM. And all I gotta say is, man, oh man, is this team so unbelievably horrendous. They are utter, pardon my French, dog shit. They are below pond scum. Daniel Vogelbach still getting at-bats is beyond me. But again, I think Vogelbach is a great example of just this entire Mets team in 2023 and just how absolutely horrendous that they have been on a night-to-night basis. I mean, holy guacamole. And the crazy thing about it all is that so many teams in the NL wildcard race have been absolute, pardon my French again, earmuffs, kids, shit, so effing bad that the Mets decide not to sell. They'd probably be within a couple of games of the wild card right now. But honestly, I'm still glad that they didn't. It's a topic that I think we'll discuss in the near future potentially. However, you couldn't even justify the Mets not selling at the trade deadline with the direction that they were headed. I expected some downfalls, what we're seeing with respective clubs in the NL wildcard race, which is making things interesting. But this team is just pathetic. They are putrid. I understand that I did not head into this series with any high expectations. They have minor leaguers playing. You know, you have Tyler McGill. As much as I have always been a McGill fan, Big Drip, appreciate him. Appreciate his mom, who's a good friend of mine. Having said that, though, McGill has had major issues all year with his control. Was sent down because of it. Was only sent back up because both Verlander and Scherzer are getting traded. And then you see his final line tonight, and the guy does pretty much what you'd expect him to do. 5.1 innings of 6-run, 5 earned run ball. Gets absolutely worked there in the 3rd inning. Bases loaded. He gives up a 3-run single to Eddie Rosario, and that was the beginning of the end. Then he gives up 2 runs the ensuing inning, and then in his final inning or so, he gives up another run. So Tyler McGill, so there, Jimmy Yacobonis, shout out to him for eating innings 3.2, only allowed a solo shot to Austin Riley. Riley's 27th of the year, if I'm not mistaken. Riley's had a great year. Matt Olson's had a great year. Ronald Acuna Jr. has had a great year. This entire Braves lineup is absolutely disgusting. We all know the story there. It isn't a rivalry this season. The Mets are shit. The Braves are elite, and if the Braves do not win the World Series this year, I'm going to be the first to laugh at it, because they absolutely should, with how star-studded of a club that is. So really, the ball is in their court, and the pressure is on their shoulders come playoff time. So that will be an interesting discussion. But like I said, guys, we're not going to get too deep into this game. There's not a lot to say. The Mets had their opportunities. They blew it left and right. The Braves had their opportunities, and like a great Braves team does, they took full advantage of said opportunities and did exactly what they needed to do. I mean, what more needs to be said on that front? This is a Mets team that's a AAA ball club in comparison to the best team in baseball, one could rightfully argue. So that is ultimately what leads the Mets to dropping this game 1 of a 4-game set 7-0. I realize I think I have embarrassing typed wrong in the graphic where it says no Mets highlights. I don't give a shit, because you know what? That isn't nearly as embarrassing as what this ball club was tonight and how they've been for the vast majority of the year. So pardon me, but I understand this is going to be a bit more unorthodox. Start covering the Rumble Ponies. I should, with the great young talent that they have there, led by Luis Angel Acuna, Ronald's younger brother, and some other great prospects the Mets recently acquired. Sean, thank you for your donation. JETS, Jets. I'm not a Jets fan, but I'm rooting for them this year. You know, they're a fun team to follow. And if you're a Jets fan, a New York Jets fan, if you enjoy consistent Jets content, make sure to check out my great friend, good buddy, Richie, who is the host of Jets Media on YouTube, one of the biggest Jets accounts out there. Highly implore you all to check him out. But how's it going, guys? I see Jacob. I see Yoshima. I see Sean. I see a bunch of you guys, new and recurring viewers. Happy to have you guys in here. Be sure to smash that like and subscribe. It really does mean a lot. You give us way too much credit. Besides, our starting pitching was crap. If you're talking about the Braves, I mean, it's hard not to give the Braves credit when they are quite literally a really good team. I mean, I'm pretty sure the Braves lead all clubs in baseball right now in wins. I mean, we know how good the Braves are. This is the least bit shocking at all. If the Mets win one game in this series, which I think they'll actually do, I think the Mets will win one tomorrow. I think the Mets will win and split the doubleheader tomorrow, and I think they will lose Sunday. I think the Mets are going to drop 3 or 4 this series. That's what was my expectation going into it. But seriously, even if the Mets win one game in this series, I mean, you got to be like, wow, that was nice, because anything more than that would just be like, what? There's no way. There's not a chance in hell that this is happening, right? But I see some people talk about Sal Licata. We're not talking about that schmuck in the show right now. I'm sorry. Sal does not know what it means to be a Mets fan. He's not a true Mets fan. He is a joke in media and sportscasting and radio. I'm just giving you clickbaity headlines, acting like he has sources. I can guarantee you every single day of the week that I have better or more credible sources than Sal Licata has ever sniffed in his entire life. And we have referenced those sources many times on the channel over the past couple years. Just don't even get me started on that guy. He's quite literally, if there's a jinx, it's Sal. He's the one who said that the division was over last year on The Fan. So that was when the Mets, of course, had a roughly 10-game lead. Understand the excitement, but again, you can't jump that far ahead. Even I wasn't saying that. I was close, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't adamantly saying that because anything can happen, but we're not doing that. Wright will not be manager anytime soon, Charlene, as much as we love David. But again, appreciate everyone chiming in live and our replay. Like I said, I'm going to keep this brief. I don't have a lot to say. I'm not showing highlights. What, you want to see the 7 runs of the Braves? If you're a Braves fan, go watch the 7 runs on the highlights or in a Braves post-game show, because you ain't getting it here on WardyNYM. Sorry to break it to you. He's homered twice since being demoted. Beatty. And Beatty is not trash. Beatty has been going through mental struggles this year. Again, overthinking things just as a young player would. And I think it's actually hilarious to call such a young player trash when this is his first big league season. You know, it's almost like fans like you tend to be the problem with the player and their psyche when they're going through hardships and going through a mental battle for really the first time in their career after they've thrived in every single league. Let's actually try to uplift the kid and not push him down. Crazy concept, I know. Must be hard to comprehend. The minute Licata said I knew that, we were in trouble. Of course. But yeah, to anyone and everyone that took the time to watch this ball game tonight, that's a Mets fan, I commend you. No worse way to spend your Friday night. I mean, let's just keep it a buck, no pun intended, to the man who will likely not be manager in a couple months. But more so, I just feel for you guys. I really do. Our starting pitching sucks. Hey, we all have struggles. Us Mets fans know. Trust me, us Mets fans know. And Mets rotation right now is brutal if you're not named Kodai Senga or Jose Quintana for the most part. But what I am going to say about this is, look, expectations are gone for the Mets this season. We're fully aware of that. The Mets can sneak out any entertaining wins, and we will certainly be in the market for that to happen. However, I think all of us went into this game on this Friday night just being, you got to be a sicko. You got to be an absolute sicko to be a Mets fan and to look forward to a Mets game on a Friday night, enjoy it and watch it and see them get blown out, get their teeth kicked in, looking like below pond scum that they are, the 7-0 deficit to the Atlanta Braves. But hey, that's what diehard fans are all about, right? That's why I love you guys, because if it wasn't for you, then I wouldn't be covering them the way that I am. And I am grateful to be doing what I do. And even on a brutal night like tonight, we still have around 200 concurrent live viewers that want to hear a schmuck talk about a schmuck team that is the New York Metropolitans. And if you're a Braves fan, congratulations, Braves. Again, you had an easy win tonight. Early on, I was kind of liking the chances. Okay, we're looking good early, and then the third inning hit. And I was like, okay, we're not looking good. Not feeling good about that. And then before you knew it, the game was over. So when we look at the offensive numbers for a minute, let's do exactly that for the Mets. Fantastic offensive turnout, as you can see, just truly remarkable all around. You have to give a lot of credit where credit's due to this lineup for being absolute dog shit, 1 through 9 for the entirety of the game. WardyNYM, who did start the game there, was then changed up. McNeil got shifted to center field later on in the ballgame, which was interesting to say the least. Abraham Almonte came in to pinch hit for Alonso, which tells you that, yes, that's where we're at in the season. Vogelback looking fantastic, 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. What an absolute piece of garbage at bats we got daily. Daily we've been getting, but especially Snipe from Vogelback. I mean, guacamole. I like Vogie. I got nothing personal against him, but I can't wait for this guy to be off the team already. Vientos, Marky V, the only Met with a multi-hit game tonight. Still taking advantage of the opportunities given to him. That's what we like to see, Mark. Rafael Ortega with a 1 for 3 night. Danny Mendick, Aruz, all guys that shouldn't be in this Mets lineup, but they are because of injuries, because of inconsistencies, because of guys being traded. Yeah. That's all I got, folks. I don't really got much else to say. This team is shit. This team really is bad. And we knew that. And how many games, actually, I'm going to double check right now, see how many games in the season we were in. Francisco Lindor, by the way, did not start tonight's game. He was supposed to, but he was scratched late with, I believe, right side soreness. So hopefully Lindor's fine. The only upside is that, even if Lindor maybe has to miss some time, God forbid IL stint, whatever it'll be, it doesn't matter, for the sake of the season. The season's gone. It's kaput. It's out of here. Sayonara. See you later. How you doing? I mean, it's forget about it. It's over. So hopefully Lindor's fine, however. But I did just want to check. Okay, Buck Showalter just said that Lindor felt side soreness and during batting practice today. Let's keep in mind that this is the same Francisco Lindor that dealt with a side soreness, really an oblique injury against the Pittsburgh Pirates in Pittsburgh in 2021, his first season as a New York Met, and that really kickstarted the derailment of the Mets 2021 season between him and Jacob deGrom going down with their respective injuries around that All-Star break or just post-All-Star break. So Lindor has dealt with side issues before. Hopefully it's not to the extent of an oblique strain. He's just dealing with soreness at this point in time. So hopefully he's okay. Ortega is at best a backup on a good team. Yeah, at absolute best. I mean, Rafael Ortega's, he's a minor leaguer at this point in his career, right? I mean, there's a reason why he couldn't even last in the Cubs. Granted, I will give credit where credit's due. The Cubs have been a very solid team this year. They've exceeded expectations in many rights. So I'm not really going to talk down on them. And also make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. Everyone first chiming in as we're breaking down the game that was as the Mets falter in game 1 of a 4-game set to the Atlanta Braves by a final score of 7-0. But yeah, like I said, guys, not too much more that I need to harp on. Honestly, these post games are going to be brutal. I'm looking forward to when we do have those rare wins to talk about where I'm around to break them down. But I'm already in the mindset of just excited to kind of get into more content about just individual video content, getting to the off season. I mean, I know we're still in kind of early August, but I'm ready for the season to be over. I'm ready for the season to be over. I'm ready for the off season to begin because, man, oh man, it has not been fun. It has been brutal covering this club this year, to say the least. Leave 6 runners on base in the first 3 innings. Yep, a very Metsian way to do, which is what they did so great of today. I do want to ask everyone, though, in their humble opinion, should the Mets this offseason sign Yoshinobu Yamamoto? Now, the reason why I bring up Yoshinobu Yamamoto, for those that don't know, is one of the best young pitchers in the NPB this season. NPB means in Nippon Pro Baseball League in Japan. Yamamoto, who turns 25 in less than a week, exactly August 17th to be exact, we just did a video of today because the Mets are linked to Yoshinobu Yamamoto and very well could already be deemed as a potential favorite to land the young Japanese phenom starter who is on pace to win his 3rd consecutive Cy Young Award, the Cy Young version award in the MPB, a triple crown, which is wins, ERA, strikeouts. The guy's phenomenal. He has a 1.57 ERA on the year. So I want to know how you guys feel about Yamamoto in the comments because that's far more interesting than this godforsaken ball club or ball game for that matter right now. And Yamamoto, what is very appealing about him that I want to share briefly on, again, make sure to check out the extended video that came from a great article from Ken Rosenthal, The Athletic, earlier today. If you haven't checked out, please make sure to do so. I highly implore you guys to do that, especially if you have an Athletic subscription. Easy way to check that out. But Yamamoto, what is so appealing about him that I want to share briefly is that he is only turning 25 over the next week. He very much fits the time frame of what the Mets are looking for this offseason, with just not short-term help, but guys that could be getting into their prime for 2025, 2026, 2027, which is kind of what the Mets are looking for now. Because ideally, yes, they plan to be highly competitive and upgrade their team for 2024, but they're not in the market for the Max Scherzers, the Justin Verlanders of the world. They did that experiment. They tried short-term high AAV deals for future Hall of Famers, and it just didn't work out. They took that risk, and the risk outweighed the reward. Now they're very much focused on bringing in young, exciting talent that can help them now and for the years on end, while also building things up with their core group internally through the prospects in the Luis Angel Acuñas, with the Drew Gilberts, with the Ryan Cliffords, with the Kevin Parradas, with the Alex Ramirez's, with the Ryan Mauricios, with the Mark Vientoses, with the Brett Beatties, with the Francisco Alvarez's. I can go on and on and on and on. Jet Williams eventually too. All these kids that have oodles amount of potential in this organization should they not be dealt. And in a very Dodgers, Braves, Astros, Rays way, they want to really build through the farm while also tackling things as they deem fit through the free agent and trade market, which is certainly what they're going to do this offseason. So just something to follow. Again, make sure to check that video out if you guys haven't already. Really enjoyed the discussion. Yamamoto, again, another flamethrower. There's a lot of really exciting names coming from the MPB that are expected to be posted this offseason. Yamamoto headlines that list, but there are a couple names to watch. Then, of course, down the line, when you have Saka coming from is it Saka or Saki? I want to say it's Saka. I could be wrong. The flamethrower is like 21, 22. When he's eventually posted too from the MPB, he's another name to consider, but that's years away from now. Our farm is depleted. It actually isn't at all. The Mets right now have a top 10 farm in baseball easily. So no, I wouldn't say they're actually all that depleted. What the Mets managed to do at the trade deadline was to upgrade the farm by one, if not two, tops 3 years in a span of a week. It's actually pretty remarkable what they were able to do. So they definitely deserve credit on that front for being able to eat the money the best that they could while also getting the best return possible. I truly do believe that the Mets front office did a phenomenal job in landing the type of elite prospect talent that they did. Sasaki, thank you. I don't know why I was saying Saka. I'm an asshole. I apologize. Yeah, he looked disgusting in the WBC for Japan as well. But yeah, just something to make note of on that front. But I really don't got too much else to harp on. Do you think Pete Alonso will be gone? I don't know. I don't know truly what Pete's future is, but I think it would be very foolish for the Mets to allow that man to walk. That is truly how I feel on that front. But aside from that, guys, I don't have too much to say. Thank you for the donation, Ruiz. I don't really have too much more to harp on. You saw the scoreboard. You saw the stat lines. You saw the abysmal steaming pile of you-know-what you call a ball club tonight. And the Atlanta Braves did exactly what you expect them to do. Honestly, the fact that it wasn't 10-0, I guess you could say is a moral victory, a pat on the back, because what else is there to say? This team is not good. If they win any more than one game this series, I would be shocked. If they somehow pull out of their ass a split of a series, man, oh man. I mean, that's the World Series for this team at this point, right? Obviously, I'm joking, but in all seriousness, this is a team that's very much tanking. We're fully aware of that for the rest of the year at least, and that's fine. Get the best draft pick possible. Give me a top 6 pick. And the Mets are in a unique position where they can land a top 6 pick regardless of the money that they've spent. There is something that allows them to get that top 6 pick, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know the full details, but I'm pretty sure that is the case. I'll do my homework on it again, though. But again, guys, the Mets lose by a final score of 7-0. I'm going to enjoy my weekend out of town. I'm certainly going to enjoy it more than talking about this ball club after rough losses like this. But still want to hop on here, still want to talk shop with you beauties because I love you guys to death. And more than anything, another rough loss, but at least we can endure these losses together in this amazing Mets community. So one thing I will say before I get out of here, please, if you haven't already, if you're a Mets fan or just a fan of the WardyNYM YouTube channel and you haven't already, join the WardyNYM Discord. It is live. It's been up for a couple weeks now. We have 300 to 400 current members. Again, it's not something where you pay to join or whatever. Discord is just a platform for you to talk shop Mets with me and other amazing Mets fans in the community all day long, all year long. Doesn't matter, if I'm making content at that time or not. You don't need to be relying on being in a live chat or in the comments of a video. You're in Discord. You join. It's just a hub to talk shop on everything Mets with myself where I can text you guys through the app whenever I want. It's an easy way for me to bring in live callers when we do live callers later this year, heading into the off season, and a way to share memes, whatever you want to do in Mets related land, and also get updates from me when I let you guys know in advance what videos are coming out. Like if you were in the Discord today, you saw that I typed like an hour before it came out that Yoshinobu Yamamoto video dropping soon. Make sure you check it out. So just little things. Discord is a great way to interact with the community in a way that I can't really do to the same extent with YouTube. It's more on a personal basis, and it's just very easy to navigate. So make sure you click the link in the description to sign up and join WardyNYM server if you haven't already. But the link is in the description of the live show. So Sprite, how are you? Happy to have you in here. Shout out to all you guys watching live on a replay. But it's your boy Wardy signing out. Have a great rest of your night. Have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. If you're watching the Mets game, if you're attending games, if you're attending the doubleheader tomorrow, I wish you luck. I really do. I wish the best for you. I hope they can at least split. But have fun at the ballpark more than anything. Enjoy yourself. There's more to Mets baseball at this point. Enjoy Citi Field. Enjoy the food. Enjoy the unbelievably overpriced drinks. Enjoy the $40 parking. Enjoy it all. That's all I can say. But seriously, thank you guys again. Stay tuned. We'll likely have a recap video out tomorrow. Recap or live stream Sunday then for the series finale. And we will go from there. New video content coming out next week, too. That is separate from post-game content. So make sure you're on the lookout. Any type of news, rumor, we will, of course, break down. But I do have some singular topics I want to get into on specific players, prospects, and things of that nature that we haven't done yet on the channel that I'm excited to do so.